Today in the news, the Steam Deck gets some good and bad competition, and Nvidia's releases get a new order. What's up guys, I'm Snows, and this is your boot sequence. Let's get started with AMD. I know, we've talked about them so much in the last couple of weeks, but hey, it's because we got new info on it. What can I do? So, during Computex, the company unveiled something that I was super interested in. And no, it's not Zen 4, and it wasn't the 600 series of motherboards. It was Corsairs' new laptop. I'm kidding. It was what they called Mendocino, their everyday laptop chip for everyday people. This chip comes equipped with up to 4 cores and 8 threads based on the Zen 2 architecture, and it has RDNA 2 graphics. All of that based on the same 6nm process as the Ryzen 6000 laptop chips. The reason why I was interested in it so much is because, well, if it had enough RDNA 2 cores, this thing could be a serious contender to the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck starts at $399 USD and it goes all the way up to $649, but the processor doesn't change. Mendocino, on the other hand, also starts at $399, but it can get more expensive at up to $699. That's the price range they were targeting anyways, and that chip doesn't have to go into a laptop. Introducing the Aya Neo Air Plus. This Mendocino-equipped handheld PC starts at even cheaper than the Steam Deck at $199 USD for their community members or $289 USD for anyone else. Now that price point definitely tingled my spidey senses, and not in a good way. Actually, are spidey senses ever good?
Yes.
Yes, sometimes?
Always.
But mostly bad.
Always.
Anyways, it looks like my hopes for Steam Deck performance are gone for Mendocino. According to both a blog post on Weibo and then added by Angstronomics on their publications, Mendocino's graphics would have 2 RDNA compute units. That's 128 stream processors. In comparison, the Steam Deck has 512. So yeah, the Steam Deck is safe and sound from Mendocino. The price range from $399 to $699 is likely just for storage, memory, better build quality, etc. But Aya isn't done here. There's one more chip that might eat at least a portion of the Steam Deck's lunch. It's called the Aya Neo Loki, and it has multiple configs, but in that list of configs, the one model the Steam Deck might be worried about is the Loki equipped with a 6600U. Just a quick side-by-side here, the Steam Deck has a quad-core 8-thread Zen 2 CPU running at up to 3.5 GHz. It also has 8 compute units of RDNA 2 graphics clocked at up to 1.6 GHz. In terms of GPU performance, that means it's up to 1.6 teraflops. Given that the company that makes the Aya Neos usually do everything it can to use all of the performance of a chip on their handhelds, the Loki might gain some market share over the Steam Deck. The 6600U model has a 6-core, 12-thread CPU. It does have less RDNA 2 CUs at 6 total, but with its higher 1.9 GHz frequency, we're still looking at a reasonable 1.45 teraflops. That's lower than the Steam Deck for sure, but considering these usually have low resolution displays at about 1280 by 800 like the Steam Deck, the CPU performance is actually more important. That's why reviews use down to 720p to benchmark CPUs. At that level, the $499 Aya Neo Loki is a beast. Now sure, there are a lot of other factors to consider, like OS, although both can run SteamOS, the storage size, the memory, the repairability, the battery life, etc., but it's clear that Valve has done what Valve wanted. They've sparked more competitive pricing in the market. Prior to that, the Aya Neos were quite expensive, with a lot of models over $1,000. So what are your thoughts on this? Let me know down below. Then we have Nvidia in the news, switching up their launch schedule. Sort of. So with the 3000 series, what happened was the 3090, the 3080, and the 3070 were all announced on the same day. But the actual release date to put the cards out in the wild was different from card to card. The 3080 came out 2 weeks after the announcement, the 3090 after, and the 3070 a couple of months after the announcement. With the 4000 series though, it looks like Nvidia is switching things up a little bit. we would have the 4090 as the first card to release, then the 4080, and after that the 4070. Now it's still unclear if all three are going to be announced at the same time, but it stands to reason that they would, since doing three separate announcements for three cards doesn't really jive with Nvidia's usual patterns. If we look at AMD though, they apparently are going to go the complete opposite route, with Navi 33 launching first, that would be the 7600 XT, and then followed by Navi 31 and then Navi 32 in early next year. So Nvidia releasing their highest end GPU first might be a marketing technique. I mean, if you want the greatest and the latest, you'll get that right away, whereas you'd have to wait a couple of months before getting Navi 31. Oh, and by the way, if you remember a couple of videos ago, we talked about the GTX 1630, a new addition to the 16 series from 4 years ago that Nvidia is releasing now to compete with their own 1050 and also the RX 6400. Anyways, apparently the release date has been moved and it will now release on June 15th. This information was pulled from videocards.com. In any case, guys, that is pretty much it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Drop a like if you liked it, a comment if you want to talk about today's stories. As usual, it's right here to see the latest video right here. Subscribe to the channel. Stay frosty, my dudes, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. How? When he feels danger,
it tingles.
But that's not good because there's danger coming. Yeah, but if somebody comes to hit you and you have spidey senses,
you dodge it.
Yeah, but bad things are coming. I'm talking about like good spidey senses, like, oh, somebody's bringing me a cake tonight.